I think y'all can see me. I think we good. I think we good. Hold on. Get the get the Diddy or you in the back. Mhm. All right, y'all. Let's get this. Yo, what's good, chat? What's good, chat? What's the love? What's the love? What's the love? All right, let's get the show started. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in and tapping into another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I am your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I want to thank y'all for tuning in, episode 265. And again, I appreciate y'all support each and every show. That's a lot of episodes, and we're going to continue to give you great content, have the conversation, have a good time, crack jokes, and be serious all at the same time. So I appreciate y'all as always. I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snap, so you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Remember, y'all, do not be a stain. Do not try to stand out by being negative. Have the ability to stand out by being positive. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. The only hate, excuse me, the only op we recognize over here is opportunity. Hate has a location. It's just not here. Shout out to the chat. The chat in here thick already. Uh who, not who, but shout out to the chat. Shout out to Alana in the building. Shout out to Ebony in the building. I'm not gonna do every single person, but shout out to you. Shout out to Tremont in the building. Shout out to Shay. We got our day ones, Rowan Jack, King P in the building. Big badge holders on top of that. We got them big badge holders, man. Shout out to the guys, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in, man. The greatest as always, man. Appreciate y'all as always. Seriously. It's good to be back. You already know my little growing jack. Again, y'all better talk to me nice. We got a mod in here. And like I said, them big band shoulders, man. Again, appreciate y'all as always. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but first segment of the night, popular opinions. You already know how we're gonna do this. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records. Make sure you go to Instagram at OUV Records and make sure y'all stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label motto is create, document, and inspire. So again, make sure on Instagram you tap into OUV Records at OUV Records. All right, y'all. First question of the night. Popular opinions. And remember, y'all, these are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. All right. Best off-season NFL move on this list. Best off-season NFL move on this list. Number one, Miles Garrett going to the Los Angeles Rams. Number two, Kenneth Walker Jr. going to the Seahawks. Excuse me, going from the Seahawks to the Chiefs. Uh, Number three, AJ Brown going from the Eagles to the Patriots. And number four, Trent McDuffie going from the Chiefs to the Rams. Again, I would love to know what y'all think about this in the chat. Again, best off-season move on this list. Best off-season move on this list. Number one, Miles Garrett going from the Browns to the Rams. Number two, Kenneth Walker Jr. going from the Seahawks to the Chiefs. Number three, AJ Brown going from the Eagles to the Patriots. Number four, Trent McDuffie going from the Chiefs to the Rams. I would love to know what y'all think about this in the chat. For those of my big football fans on this list, man, if you know, you know. For me, for me, y'all know I'm a big Chiefs fan. I mean, you see the Chiefs, yeah, you see the Chiefs hat in the back, so you know that's my squad, right? So I want to say Kenneth Walker Jr. because he will help make our offense potent, right? Patrick Mahomes is coming back from a severe injury, and he's going to need all the help that he can get. Kenneth Walker is one of the best backs in the league. Travis Kelsey is still an option, but he's getting older. So we needed his services for sure. And he helps not only in the run game, but he helps in the passing game. But when you think about AJ Brown going from the Eagles to the Patriots, this gives them a number one receiver. Last year, Stephon Diggs did an amazing job, but he's no longer with the Patriots. So I believe this gives them a number one receiver moving in this year, and this is crucial for young Drake May's continued development. Trent McDuffie on the back end and we lose a great player. The Chiefs. For some reason, we don't like to pay cornerbacks on the Chiefs. We don't pay them every time. It's time for a corner to get paid. We let them go, and what makes it worse is not the fact that we want to pay them. They actually develop into being one of the very best defensive backs in the league. So a guy like Trent McDuffie, we're gonna miss. But I have to go with Myles Garrett. I have to go. Myles Garrett is one of the best. He's the best defensive player in the league and one of the best players, period, in the league. If somebody was to say he's the very best, I'm not going to argue that. Myles Garrett had an amazing year last year. I think he's going to have an amazing year this year. And for him to be on that Cleveland Browns defense, standing out the way that he did, I I only could imagine what it's going to look like with him on the Rams. That defense, I don't know necessarily if it's going to be better than what Cleveland defense overall was last year, but I mean, you got Trent McDuffie on the back end. They talking about Aaron Donald might come back. I mean, this is getting kind of spooky. So I'm going to say Myles Garrett, and then this team went very far without Myles Garrett. So you adding him to the pieces, I honestly believe this piece makes them an NFL or for a Super Bowl favorite in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with Myles Garrett on this list. In the chat, I'm seeing the mix. I see Myles Garrett and I see Kenneth Walker Jr. The rest of the world, Manja, over 19,000 people voted on this. 19,000 people, that's a lot of people. 46% went with number one, Myles Garrett. Again, not mad at that because again, look how far the Rams have gone in the past 2 years. In the past 2 years, you add a guy like Myles Garrett, they're the Super Bowl favorites. They're the Super Bowl favorites. I mean, the Seahawks won the Super Bowl last year. The Seahawks is not the same team. I think they could get the Seahawks up out of here. And now you add Myles Garrett on top of that. So the only people that can really mess this up for real is the Los Angeles Rams. So like I said, I agree with the people. I'll say Myles Garrett. That's a lot. 46% is a lot. So all right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. Uh, excuse me. Worst. Hold on. Okay. Worst movie or TV wig on this list. Worst movie or TV. It should have been worst movie or TV hairstyle on this list. Worst movie or TV hairstyle on this list. Number one, Mackay Pfeiffer in The 8 Mile. Number two, Terrence Howard in the show Empire. Number three, Anthony Anderson in the movie Scary Movie. Number four, Tyler Perry in the movie The Family That Prays. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, worst movie or TV hairstyle on this list. Worst movie or TV hairstyle on this list. Number one, Mackay Pfeiffer in The 8 Mile. Number two, Terrence Howard in Empire. Number three, Anthony Anderson in Scary Movie 6. Number four, Tyler Perry in The Family That Prays Together. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to my dog, bro, and Jack. He said, President, he said President Camacho? President Camacho? Who's President Camacho? You mean Camacho? Camacho the boxer? President Camacho? Who's that? Who's President Camacho? Roger, who's President? Now I'm intrigued to know who's President Camacho. I want to know who's President Camacho. Shout out to my dog, Growing Jack, one of my day ones. I big bad shoulders, man. Shout out to my dog, Growing Jack, man. But who's President Camacho? I want to know. So I'm seeing number two. So far, y'all going with Terrence Howard in Empire. Y'all going with all of them. All of them had bad wigs, but Tyler Perry braids was unforgettable. Terry Crews. We said Terry Crews, and I don't remember that. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about with Terry Crews. Oh, but he not on the list though. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. Now I know what you're talking about. Okay, okay. Shout out to Jason in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. You ain't gangster. Stop the cap, Goofy. Yeah, shout out to Jason. We appreciate you for tapping in. Anybody that watches and support my show that comes on here with that idiot behavior, you don't got nothing going on for yourself. Everybody here has something going on for themselves. And to come on here and say something as idiotic as that, knowing you wouldn't say that to my face, knowing you wouldn't give me that same type of energy, just stop it. You're in your parents' house somewhere, in your room, and you're looking to give out negative energy because you don't control your life. So shout out to you. It's probably more so a kid playing around on the internet because you know how they do. We do get the trolls over here, so we got the kids playing. You're about to get blocked, homie, because we don't have that type of energy over here. All right, but shout out to you. You need that type of energy. You was looking for a little one-on-one. Okay, now go play, little kid. Go play, child. Got child's play in the building. Shout out. Uh, yeah, shout out to the chat, man. Showing major love. Ban me. I'm gonna report you. All right, cool, no doubt. Shout out to you, Jason. Shout out to you. How we do this? Yeah. Shout out to Jason. Jason just got hooked up with some tickets to the block party. So shout out to Jason in the building. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Barbershop talk. Barbershop talk. So the barbershop talk for this episode is nobody can force you to do something you really don't want to do. Ironically, this idiot that was just here, right? Nobody can force you to do what you really don't want to do. This guy, this idiot just said, "Yo, if you block me, I will report you." Why would you want to be in a chat with somebody you don't mess with, right? So that's how you know people are trolling and whatever, right? But nobody can force you to do something that you really don't want to do. And the reason why this was the barbershop talk is because Khloe Kardashian supposedly, this is the reports, have forced former NBA player Tristan Thompson to get a vasectomy. So if this is true, if the reports is true, because they saying that it's very solid that he went ahead and got a vasectomy due to her request. Grown man getting forced to get a vasectomy? Like, where they do that at? I've heard other men that was married, and in order for their wives to feel comfortable with them, they got vasectomies. Their situation, I I just never understood it. Like, use condoms then. Oh, you can't because it's been too long. You go with that feeling to go raw dog. Okay, so is a possibility that you might have some kids, especially if his pullout game is ass. Now, it's one thing for a man to get a vasectomy or exercise the right to get a vasectomy if he already have 4 or 5 children. He's been with his wife, and they both saying, "Hey, I don't want no more kids. You don't want no more kids." I can understand that. Vasectomies, when it becomes between couples and you have a family, it's not reasonable, but I can understand it because that's what y'all choosing to do based on not having any more kids because you already have kids. You're already with this person. You're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. But we live in 2026. It could be very easily that Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson could easily walk away from each other. And let's say the woman that he ends up with want more children. Is he getting a vasectomy mainly because Chloe wants it or because he wants it and he doesn't want to engage in more children? So that's why the barbershop talk was so crazy because as a man, you just can't wrap your mind around your wife or your woman saying, hey, you need to get a vasectomy. I don't want any more kids. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. My feelings matter too. What I want matters too when it comes to my body. It's his body. So at the end of the day, again, well, I get my hair cut at, the fellas, you know what I mean? But then you got the ladies on the other side of the salon, ear hustling, and they felt like, hey, Kardashian had the right to ask if that's her dude. Your dude and your husband that you're building a life with after y'all done had several children, then you can ask for something like that. I have plenty of friends who have over 6 kids in 2026. In 2026, neither of their wives have asked them to get a vasectomy. But if they was to get one, I could understand it because they have over 6 children. They have a life. They building together, and it's like, okay, at this point in time, we got 6. How many more kids we need? So there are special circumstances, but when you out here with just one kid with somebody, and y'all not really in all that tight, it's kind of wishy washy. That's not something you could force somebody to do if you don't want to do it yourself. So that's what was the big barbershop talk in the barbershop. Shout out to my dog Rowan Jack. He says sorry I was lacking. Thank you God. We got out of there with it. Come on, Rowan Jack. Shout out to Rowan Jack. Hit the likes, hit the 100s. I agree, Ashley. He quietly wanted to do it, but there are some weak men out here. uh Chloe, never mind. I thought it was Kim. Yo, you stupid Rowan Jack. Yo, like I said again, there are circumstances that I could understand, right? And I've mentioned them, and it's been well documented thus far. So at the end of the day, nobody can force you to do something that you don't really want to do for real. So I believe he wanted to do this, and to say that he was forced, that sounds crazy. I mean, but if he was forced, and he's one of the type of dudes that his woman or wife could force him to do something, hey man, you got bigger issues, So it is what it is. That has been relayed to the public. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Our Hollywood need to ask us segment. I came over with this segment because there's not enough fight movies in Hollywood. This week seemed like it's a good week to bring out a movie, though. I will say that Scary Movie looks pretty good. It looks pretty funny, and Masters of the Universe looks pretty good. And I'm probably going to end up going to the movies to watch both of those this weekend. So outside of this weekend, there's just not enough great movies in the movie theaters. So I got better ideas for either a movie or a movie series. He let himself get sterilized good. We don't need this seed in the population. Oh man. But it was. I don't know if they have children, but Chloe is pretty tall. Tristan is pretty tall. So if they was to have either a boy or a girl, that child would have been super duper tall. But hey, it is what it is. So my Hollywood need to ask us for this episode. I would love to see a movie based on the Kumar Empire. The Kumar Empire reigned for over 629 years, from 802 to 1431. I would love to see a movie based on that time period and the cause and effects of the Kumar Empire. Of course, this will be rated R. This will be considered a I won't say a biopic, but more so a fictional fantasy type of film based on true facts. My foundational actors for this will be Tony J, Rebecca Ferguson, Patina Miller, Chin Hain, Edel Young, and Amari Hardrick. My director will be Dennis Villanueva, mainly because he has the ability to basically have great atmosphere, landscapes in his movie. He does dual timelines very well. The producer would be Richie Pan, the renowned Cambodian filmmaker, having like that cultural authenticity. The music score would be done by Master Kane. My co-writer would be Alex Garland. My art director would be Patrice Vermette, excuse me. And that would be my movie in the total based on, again, the Kumar Empire. I think this would absolutely be fire. Can Terry Crews play Kumar? No, he can't. Yo, if this y'all first time tuning to tap it in, that's an inside joke of the show with Terry Crews. But yeah, I think this would absolutely be fire. And I love period pieces. This would be considered a period piece. I love period pieces because it takes us back to a place that we don't know much about. And when we get into it, it gets very interesting how people used to live in the society and what things was going and what things wasn't going. So I think this would be an excellent movie to make, and I think everybody and their mother would go see it. I can't think of a period piece that wasn't successful. So I think this would absolutely be amazing to make and to see in the movie theaters for that. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. You know, I'm gonna give y'all some fire music to tap into. My profile artist for tonight, whether it's new or old though, whether it's hip hop and R&B, I'm gonna give y'all some fire. So my 3 Michael Jackson awards goes to 3 songs by this profile artist. So my profile artist for tonight is the legendary Janet Jackson, who happens to be Michael Jackson's younger sister. So my first Michael Jackson award goes to her song "Miss You Much." My second Michael Jackson award goes to her song "Go Deep." And my third Michael Jackson award goes to her song "If." So if you haven't put those on your playlist already, get those on your playlist. Fire songs, great vibes. Again, the song "Miss You Much," "Go Deep," and "If." Fire must have songs on your playlist by Janet Jackson. And those are my 3 Michael Jackson award songs. Shout out to Ebony. This is like their very out of the box music, but interesting. Okay, appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. We're about to book them flights. Head on over and send them to Turkey or no. Send them to Turkey or no. Y'all know the rules of the game. We type in T to send it to Turkey, or we type in N not to send it to Turkey. I would love to know what y'all think, and please type your answers in the chat. First one of the night. Number one, women, excuse me, a woman who threw dynamite at a sleeping boyfriend is sentenced to 18 years in prison. Kiana Waddle, 35 years old in Suffolk County, New York. For those who don't know, Long Island, basically. First degree murder assault and first degree criminal possession of a weapon for the March 2024 domestic violence attack. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending this to Turkey? Type in T to send it to Turkey. Type in N not to send it to Turkey. I would love to know what you think. Shout out to y'all in the chat. After a heated argument between the victim and Kiana, the victim was told that Waddle to leave his apartment. So he told her to get up out of there, and like it, what the hell? Yeah, he told her to leave. She didn't want to leave. They was continuing arguing, believing that she had left. He thought he was all alone. The victim was asleep. He woke up to a hissing sound. So that thing was lit and on fire, right? And obviously he found the burning stick. So instead of running out the apartment, in that state of panic, he picks it up to try to throw it out of the apartment, and he basically, it went off, it exploded, and obviously his hand was surgically amputated, and a portion of his arm. So again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending her to Turkey? Uh, send her to the straight of Humas. She will get it. Oh my God. Oh my God. He said send it to the straight of her moves and she will get it open. Oh my God. Yo, Ron Jack. Yo, you are on one tonight, man. That is hilarious. So I'm seeing T's. I'm seeing T's in the chat. I'm seeing T's in the chat. Um, this is crazy. This is crazy. So, all right. So Long Island women, uh, and for those who don't know about Long Island women, there's a difference between North Nassau County women and Suffolk County women. Suffolk County women, nice looking girls, but they like to party. You know what I mean? They like to party. And they also kind of crazy. This has Suffolk County written all over it for me personally. Where did she get a stick of dynamite? That is the screaming question. Where did she get a stick of dynamite? Where did she get the wherewithal to say to herself, hey, next time I get into an argument with my boyfriend, I'm going to get him with some dynamite? Where did she get the dynamite from? Who just has dynamite just on sale like that? Where did she get the dynamite? That's my first question. My second question is like, damn. I wouldn't even say my second question, just an observation. As a man, you have to know your partner. And when I say that is you have to know what they're capable of. You have to know whether they're going to double that back. You like when you're in a relationship with somebody, whether you're a man or a woman, you kind of know when something is over and when it's not over. And I'm not talking about necessarily the relationship, but the argument. You could kind of feel not kind of, but you could feel the energy in the air when something is over and when it's not over. When somebody is kind of crazy and when somebody not kind of crazy. When somebody gonna let it go and when they're not gonna let it go. The biggest accountability that he has to accept is accepting a woman that would actually do something like that to him. Because no man or no woman believe that somebody can do something that malice after being with them, after sharing with them, after y'all being intimate. Nobody think that somebody would take a strip of dynamite and bust you with it. Like literally. So can you imagine if he never woke up? Can you imagine the fact that he was able to try to pick it up? The fact that he tried to pick it up is the biggest reason why he basically lost his hand and part of his arm. Because if it was on the floor and him seeing that in his panic, he thought he had enough time to pick it up and throw it. Opposed to, putting, flipping the bed framing over. I don't know what type of bed. He could have steel bed framing, leather bed. Like, you don't know what you'll do unless you're in that situation. But you wouldn't think somebody that you care for, love maybe at one particular point in time, would hate you that much in that moment to get dynamite. Like, where did you get the dynamite from? Who sells dynamite in the street? Who sells dynamite in the store? Where do you get dynamite in Suffolk County? Location matters. And I didn't see anything regarding where she got the damn dynamite. It just sounds it sounds crazy. A shout out to Ebony. T, imagine the terror of waking up to a situation like that. Jersey and Florida girls are the same but different. I'm just not sure how different yet. She wildly coyote him. She dreamed of him cheating probably a year ago and planned it. Even though you joking, people are that crazy to say something like that. I dreamt of you cheating, so you cheated. I had an ex that would say all types of stuff. All types of stuff. Hey, I dreamed that you cheated, so you cheated. I've had an ex tell me that. I kid you not. I kid you not. I've had an ex tell me that she dreamed of me touching myself and she's right next to me. How can I be asleep touching myself and you right next to me and you dreamt that or you like like stop the cat. I- it- like and that same ex, whether I was sleeping or not, she would do stuff to me whether I was sleeping or not. She didn't care about none of that. So if that was so factual, wouldn't you get it cracking? Right? It's like, yo, people are crazy out here. Crazy. I have to say it. They cuckoo for cocoa stuff. So again, that could have been very true. She could have cheated. Excuse me. She could have dreamt that, or he could have cheated. But even if he cheated, so what? That doesn't give you the right to try to blow him up. That doesn't give you the right to try to unalive him. I don't understand that logic. And that goes for both men and women. If a woman is in a relationship with a dude and he cheats, that doesn't give you the right to unalive him. And that goes for that man too. If you're in a relationship with a woman and she cheats, that doesn't give you the right to body her. She made a decision. She actually helped you out. She let you know where she was at in a relationship. He let you know where y'all was at in a relationship. So how can you say rationally, yo, I'm gonna unalive somebody because they cheated on me? That's where's the emotional intelligence? That's crazy. You're gonna unalive me? Again, I had another ex. We was watching a movie, and matter of fact, the movie was Acrimony. I can tell y'all what it is. Tyler Perry Acrimony. And she was like, baby, you gotta watch this movie. This movie is so good. And when we get to the Taraji, trying to she trying to unalive his new boo, and then trying to unalive him, and she like, yeah. What you mean? Yeah, like that's not something you like. That's not a yeah. That's not a flex. If y'all watch the movie, Taraji was crazy all through the movie. She got cheated on. So what? Everybody gets cheated on. Not everybody, but people get cheated on. She takes her car and try to ram it into his trailer that he lived in. Mess around, had an accident herself. Now she can't have no more kids. She blames him for that instead of taking responsibility, right? But the trailer flipped over like 3, 4, 5 times. They could have died. So you justify because you upset? Nah. If that was him and caught her cheating, he wouldn't have had the right to do that either. All right, so in the same movie, they break up. She's ashamed of him. Well, they didn't break up. She broke up with him. She divorced him. And even though he wasn't a great husband, she divorced him. She made a choice. He wanted to make it work. She still made the choice. She started dating other men that had their life together and popping. He had to get a job working as a damn dishwasher in the back, like a literal dishwasher. He's basically not basically he's homeless. He's living in the shelter, and just so happily he made an invention, and they finally called him, and now he worth millions, all the millions. What did he do? He went back to go buy the mother house because they lost the mother's house, gave her $10 million on top of that, and was like, yo, I just want to give you this. Like, I was a shit husband. Yo, I'm sorry, but I will always love you here. And the ex that I was dealing with, she was like, yeah, nah, that ain't it. That's not some shit I would have did. You made a choice. But again, he tried to right the wrong. And even though he did all that, and because they didn't get back together because she wanted to get back together all of a sudden, now it was cool to unalive him. Nah, bro. No, no, no. You're not going to get me to think like that at all. When people cheat, they make a decision to cheat. Whether it's in the moment or whether it's planned out, it's still a decision at the end of the day. Now, if you're on the receiving end of being cheated on, yo, put your big boy pants on or your big girl pants on and deal with it. It's either you're going to stay or you're going to go. But if you're going to stay, then stay. If you're going to go, then go. Can't be wishy-washy about it. You can't punish people about it neither because it doesn't benefit anything. And you don't have the right to unalive somebody because they what's the word, betrayed your trust. You don't have the right, no matter how good you were to them. If a man goes to work every day like he's supposed to, pay the bills every day like he's supposed to, take care of his wife like he does, she turns around and cheat. That doesn't give him the right to unalive her, and vice versa. People are crazy out here. That's nuts. That is nuts. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. The legal system has sent a strong message, and at this level of violence is unacceptable. Shout out to Ebony for that. My dog and Jack, we all had an ex or current wife dream we cheated. That is a fact. I dream you cheated is nasty work. I'm sorry. I had an ex that told me that. I dreamed that you cheated. What was I wearing? She didn't find that funny at all. Um, did she scream, Allah Akbar, please? Yo, shout out to Roy Jack. My dog Cece in the building. You already know, hit the likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. You saying I can't have my cake and eat it too? Damn. Listen, if you out here multiple people, it's a choice. Say it straight up. Yo, I keep it a book with y'all. I deal with multiple women and I let them know, hey, if I'm dealing with you, there's a possibility I'm gonna like somebody else. But we're dating together. We pick the next woman together. And believe it or not, that's not a deterrent for most women because I'm being up straight and honest about it. So you have whatever you want if you just, hey, the worst somebody can say is no. The worst. We live in 2026. People are open to all types of stuff. Are you kidding me? Look at Neo. Neo out here, and he got his ladies, and they're happy. He's happy. So you can do whatever you want. If you want one person, one woman, or one dude for the ladies out there, have at it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you got a wife and y'all have a great marriage, yo, I applaud that. Even if you got a decent marriage, I applaud that. You can have whatever you want just as long as everybody is on the same accord. I seen a lady that was married to a man and had her boyfriend all at the same time. And they got a show about it. It's an actual show like this. And her husband, they got children. But the boyfriend is allowed to come to their home and stay in their home for weeks at a time, and the wife goes to bed with the boyfriend, and you know he in there cracking that back. So you can have whatever you want out here as long as everybody's on the same page. But if you're not on the same page, it's okay to feel a certain way. Doesn't give you the right to act on a certain emotion. Damn, this person betrayed my trust. I'm not fucking with them no more. I can understand that they don't. But to unalive somebody because they betrayed your trust is crazy work. People talk about people talk about this word. It's escaping me right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. But there you go. Emotional intelligence. I got so much emotional intelligence. But in your past and in your present, you don't exhibit that. So it kills me when people say, emotional intelligence, and when it's time to basically provide that, you don't do that. So I'm just of that nature. Just because somebody don't want to be with you anymore, or they cheat on you, or whatever the case may be, don't give you the right to unalive them. Simple and plain. This lady that try to blow up her husband, or excuse me, blow up her boyfriend because he told her to leave his place or that he was breaking up with her, whatever the case may be, that doesn't give her the right to go get a stick of dynamite and try to blow dude up. And the biggest question is, where'd you get the goddamn dynamite? That is nuts. How do you sell dynamite? Like, that's crazy. A shout out to Rowan Jack. Send that whole family to Turkey. No one innocent. Not. I'm telling you, like, and this has always been my thing, right? You could tell when somebody really loves you. This is not anecdotic. This is real. You could tell when somebody really love you. There's nothing that there's no way that they would try to hurt you intentionally. There's no, that's when you know somebody really love you. There's no way that they would try to hurt you intentionally. It hurts them to try to hurt you. Not saying that in a weird way, like it's hurting me to hurt you. No, it would literally break them to pieces that actually hurt you. When somebody hurts you, they say something to you, and then you take it the wrong way, or it just hurt you because it's like, yo, they didn't understand that they was hurt. That's unintentional. But you don't return unintentional hurt with intentional hurt. That's not love. That's crazy. That's control. That's trying to up the other person. So when somebody says, yo, I did this because you did this, but hold on, I thought you loved me. And if I did this unintentionally, so you mean to tell me you did this intentionally? How was that love? So again, at the end of the day, that's what I subscribe to. Shout out to baby girl in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Well, no, baby Griggs in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. Shout out to my dog Rowan Jack. They laughing in the chat. No, but for real, like I've always thought that. I've always found that very interesting. Again, I had an ex where she said I hurt her feelings about something, and that's why she did something. And I'm like, but I thought you loved me. And if you love me the way you say you do, why would you try to hurt me intentionally for something I didn't even know I hurt you about? Like this is news to my ears. So you've been walking around here real pissed off and just saying, coming to me, hey babe, can we talk? Like this right here, this really hurt my feelings. And I know you probably didn't do this, intentionally, but I just had to let you know, my bad. I'm sorry. That's what love look like. When you do something to try to hurt somebody intentionally, yeah, that's not love. I dealt with some crazy people in my past. I had a woman that was trying to intentionally trying to ram in my car. I'm like, you crazy nut. I'm about to call the cops. Oh, you gonna call the cops on me? Yes, this is crazy. This is crazy talk, lady. This is I'm gonna give you crazy talk energy. I don't talk crazy, but the police do. You talking about crashing into my car, and she kept inching it, like inching it, like she was in front of my car with her car, like inching it, going back, acting like she gonna hit it. I'm like, oh, you want to play? Oh, you want to play? All right, cool. And she was like, you really called the cops? Yes. Then she was talking to another girl on the phone, and you can hear her in the car. She was like, he called the cops? Yo, he just stand the third. I'm like, yo, what chick on the phone in there advising you to be single? Because you single at this point. You know that, right? You single. You single. People are crazy. You don't return unintentional hurt with actual intentional hurt. That's not how love works. People are crazy out here. Shout out to the chat. Hit the likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. If this is your first time tuning in and tapping in, again, I am Ashley Lovechild. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next. Sending the turkey or nah. Sending the turkey or nah. The Chicago Bears. Excuse me. Madden Cover 2027 has released their cover player of the year, which is Chicago Bears quarterback Caleb Williams. Are we sending Madden to Turkey for putting Caleb Williams on the cover? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Type in T to send it to Turkey. Type in excuse me, not to Turkey. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Women are women's worst enemy. Yo, I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you, she was on the phone with another girl, right? Mind you, it had me on two-way. Had me on two-way. So now when I come outside and I got, for some reason, I brought my phone and I'm just taping her. I got her on tape, and she into the car. And once I get closer, I'll say, "Yo, I called the cops. Like, I'm gonna let the cops deal with you. Like, this is crazy." And you can hear the girl in the phone, on the phone, through Bluetooth or whatever, or speaker, or they're like, "He really called the cops on you, girl? Oh hell no! What type of man is he?" And I'm like, "Yo, this shit gonna keep you single. You single now. She advised you to do this shit. You single now. You know what I'm saying?" So at the end of the day, when you're dealing with somebody, you don't return unintentional hurt with intentional hurt. That's not how it works. If somebody really hurt you and you with them, hey, either speak on it or let it go, or leave. Like, it's either one. It's either one. Shout out to TA in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Yo, boss. I'm talking about the others. Focus on your money. At the end of the day, get your bread up. Always get your bread up. Always focus on your money. But at the end of the day, when you're dealing with people, because let's be honest, relationships run the world. And whether that's personal or whether that's business, you have to know how to maneuver in relationships. Men, men is not valuable to us if we numb ourselves of certain things. And if we numb ourselves of certain things, we void ourselves of real love. That's just a fact. Like how I speak on race. Our culture, meaning the brothers, is the only culture that others try to condition us on what we should accept or don't accept. Now, let's go to the gender. Men is the only, obviously there's only two species, right? Men and women, female and male, right? But men, we are conditioned, or they try to society try to condition us to just take it and just make the money. Nah, our mental capacity got to be on point. And not just on the money side, but on the love. We need love. We need love. Any man that tell you he don't need love to progress and to move forward is a goddamn liar and hasn't been through life for real. We need love. We need love to persevere. That's how it works. Not only for the love of ourselves, but from the love for the people that surround us. So that's why that matters. So never just say, "Oh yeah, just focus on the money." That's good too. But you're making the money for what? You're making the money to be happy, right? Money brings prosperity with people that you can share with. That's how that works. Money doesn't mean nothing if you're just spending it on yourself. No matter how much money you make, it doesn't matter, because it's going to be a period of time where you get everything that you ever wanted. Then what? Then what? So never just delegate that by yourself with just focus on the money. We need love as well too. Uh, shout out to the chat. Y'all was going in on the chat. Uh, Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. Um, yeah, somebody's comments got timed out. They must have been talking crazy. Y'all better talk to me nice, because my mods don't play them games. So shout out. He must have been talking crazy. So shout out to my dog Roman Jack. But yeah, uh, I blocked it. I blocked y'all. Oh man, shout out to my dog Roman Jack, man. I love it. I love it. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, Chicago Bears quarterback Caleb Williams did get the cover of the Madden 2027 video game. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending this to Turkey? Type in T to send it to Turkey. Type it in not to send it to Turkey. I got him clocked. Okay. Again, I didn't catch his comments, so I don't know if he was talking crazy or whatever the case may be. But being that you took him up out of here, I know for a fact he was talking crazy. I know for a fact he was talking crazy. That is a fact. So for me, I can't send this to Turkey. Caleb Williams had a hell of a year last year, and his play alone, not by itself, but his play as the quarterback, the most important position in all of sports, might I add. You can argue with me to the cows come home. You never change my mind. But he played very well and he elevated his team last year. And based on his play, if he continues to play the way that he's playing, the Chicago Bears, I don't know, man. They could be a squad year in, year out. So I can't send this to Turkey. But I did see other people speak on it mainly because of, his vibe. He's kind of emo, wears the black, fingernail polish and things of that nature, and his off the field type of things that he's into or interest or whatever the case may be. But I think he earned it on the field. Now, as far as the image, well, I mean, we in 2026. We all have our own preference or what we want the president of our company to look, sound like, right? But that's all preference based. If if the Chicago Bears, yeah, if the Chicago Bears doesn't have a problem with it, that's their business, right? That's a whole nother question. This in particular, did he earn the fact to be on the cover of the Madden cover? Yes, he played very well. And moving forward, he could be a pillar in the game based on how he plays. So at the end of the day, I'm not mad at it, and I can't send it to Turkey. He played well last year, and he earned it. So it is what it is. Shout out to Pede in the building. Appreciate you for tapping and hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. He broke the franchise passing record and won a playoff game. He earned this. God, regardless of losers, trying me. Rowan, you could drop your location. Shout out to Pete. Yeah. And matter of fact, I remember Pete. Get him up out of here. He's a weirdo. He's a weirdo. Get him up out of here. He's a weirdo. He. I think he was a guy on one of the other shows talking about he was born in 1978 and he called himself a gangster and trying to These are kids playing. These are kids trolling. Ain't nobody that's 1978 talking tough on the internet. Uh, Man, there's a few, but the energy not gonna be the same in real life. And I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact because I'm crazy. I'm not a tough guy. I'm crazy, and I'm a grown man. I don't play that bullshit. So, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? You know, weirdo. born in 1970. So that means this man is damn near 50, if not 50. He's like 48. Arrested development like it's crazy out here. It's crazy. If he is a grown man, I know that had to be a kid because grown men don't talk like that, right? But again, I can't send this to Turkey. Caleb Williams deserve being on the Madden cover based on his play. If we're talking about play accomplishments, like y'all pointed out, he broke the franchise passing record. They did win a playoff game. They had a real chance to win the second playoff game as well. And he's a great player. What he did on the field last year, great. And the crazy thing is, they wanted him up out of there after that first year. He had a real rough rookie year, a really rough rookie year. That second year looked completely different. So if he continues to play the way he played, I don't think the supposed antics on the field, whether he likes the black fingernails or whatever the case may be, I don't think that's going to even be an issue if they're winning, if he's breaking records, if they're winning playoff games, and possibly a Super Bowl. Who knows? Nobody saw the Seahawks winning last year. Who knows? Nobody seen Drake May take the Patriots to the Super Bowl in his second year. Nobody saw that. Nobody. So at the end of the day, hey man, on the field he earned it. Whether you want him as your quarterback or not, that's all preference based, and that's a different conversation. So it is what it is. So I can't send him to Turkey. P7878. I'm not at your mama house. Yo, shout out to the chat. Shout out to my dog Rowan Jack. Yeah, and I told him last episode, man, I'm not the dude you want to play with, man. Like, yeah, y'all know what I say all the time when I speak to these kids, man. Like, you don't want to play with me, man. I'm the type I will really bag your mother. I will bag your big sister, your big grown sister, your little grown sister, your auntie, and come in your room and like, hey, they said take out the trash, dog. Clean your room up. It's nasty in here. For real. Yo, so shout out to the chat. We getting people up out of here that's weirdos. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know what that time hitting for. Y'all already know, man. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, in the word snaps.com. Again, that's the word button, hyphenated sign, in the word snaps.com. People say all the time, hey, I can't find Button Snaps. You got to put the word button, hyphenated sign, and snaps.com, and you'll be able to find it. First hot topic of the night: 50 Cent baby mama Daphne Joy and ex star Sly Diggler with mogul P. Diddy sex tape was leaked exclusively on X or Twitter or whatever you choose to call it. I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, 50 Cent, Baby Mama, Daphne Joy, Sly Diggler, who's the ex performer, with P. Diddy. Sex tape was leaked and is exclusively on Twitter or X, whatever you like to call it. Again, I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to Tef. He said narcissistic tendencies. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but shout out to you. Um, I don't know if he was trying to be weird, but shout out to him. Was he calling me a narcissist? Really? Yeah. So you definitely that definitely got to be like one of my exes playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause they look one love. I've never been called a narcissist, honestly, except by one person, which was my ex. She said I was a narcissist. She said I was a narcissist. So in my dating history, I've been called a narcissist one time. So this definitely got to be my ex or something playing. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to you though. Shout out to you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hook you up, Tef. It's the summertime, and we got the new tickets coming out, and I'm gonna hook you up with them tickets, my brother or sister. Who knows? Who knows? Because people be playing. All right, y'all. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, 50 Cent, Baby Mama, Daphne Joy, and ex performer Sly Diggler with P. Diddy. Sex tape was leaked exclusively on X or Twitter, based on what you want to call it. Uh, me personally, it's not a big deal. At this point in time, we're in 2026. Sex tapes are not a big deal anymore. It is what it is. And in the industry, everybody get it popping. Everybody's recyclable. Now I can understand the disdain that 50 Cent has for P. Diddy. I mean, they have a history. But it's very weird. And maybe it's just me. I love beautiful women, right? And no matter how beautiful a woman is, if she deals with somebody that I know, I don't want her. I've just always been like that. Whether it's somebody that I'm cool with or not cool with. Now, if I take down somebody and I'm not cool with the girl's dude or whatever the case may be, that's something I'll normally find out afterwards, right? But if I have an enemy or somebody that I just don't like, and I see them with their girl for real, I don't intentionally go after their woman. I just don't move like that. I don't like to have that type of energy around me. No matter if I can get in there or not, it just never moved me. Even when it came to my friends, I've just never been the friend to see one of my boys deal with a woman, and when they finish, it's like, yeah, tag me in, bro. I just never been like that. And I'm not trying to paint that P. Diddy and 50 Cent was ever friends, but they were friendly at one point. They was on this, they had a speaking relationship or a business relationship, so much to the point where they could call each other up if need be. So I just never understood, if you know that's my baby mother, why go after her? And regardless if we cool or not cool, that's just a weird thing to do. But it is what it is. People get recycled in the industry. You've seen several basketball players, rappers, football players, baseball players all share the same baby mother, which is weird to me. And when you see the baby mother, she not nothing you want to put a baby in anyway. But I digress. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But then and still, this is not a big deal. And at the end of the day, these are all grown ass adults. They have to deal with this shit. Everybody's accountable. P. Diddy's accountable. Except for 50. 50's not accountable because he's not in the sex tape. But P. Diddy's accountable. His baby mother's accountable. And the guy that she did it with is accountable too. But the guy that she did it with is an ex-worker. So this is what he does. This is what he do. He smashes on camera for money. This is a part of his job. This is what he does. But at the end of the day, he released it. Why release it? Why? The only reason why a dude would release a sex tape is because he was trying to get some money from something. I believe that for sure. Because there's no reason why he would put the tape out. All right, you put the tape out, cool. Try to get money, couldn't get money. You put the tape out. Now what? Now what? The only thing that somebody has to deal with is the embarrassment if they're embarrassed. Now, her being a lady, I can't picture her being too embarrassed. She's a woman and she was doing what women do in the bedroom. She was getting plowed and she was, enjoying a throat massage. That's what women do during sex. So that's not much embarrassment outside of the fact that her son could see it. But let's be real. Her son could see anybody doing that. Nobody wants to see their mama though. But the point that I'm making, outside of the initial shame and the initial shock, now what? You don't get the money that you could get. The son can see it, but their son is not going to go looking for his mother going crazy on the internet. Now he may have to deal with that in school if somebody try to make fun of him. He gonna have to deal with that. So I guess there is a portion of that that the son is gonna have to deal with. Sons of the mother, right? Sins of the mother, excuse me. But at the end of the day, as adults, even P. Diddy, it's all accountability that they have to deal with. The only person that really gets a real bit of shame is really the son, not even the mother for real. It's the son. Is the fact that there's access of his mother on the internet at the fingertips of millions of people that can see his mother doing what grown-ups do in the bedroom. Like, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100. It does help with the growth of the show. Shout out to my dog Tom in the building. We got my dog Tom in the building. You already know Ashley in chat. Respect and blessings. Wrong respect. Family stay consistent and healthy. Shout out to Ebony. I agree. Not a good look for all parties. And frankly, nobody comes out this situation clean. My dog Ron Jack. What's up, Tom? Thank you, buddy. Uh, Look at Scottie Pippen's son talking about how he was teased in high school about his mother messing with Future. Okay, so again, the real shame really goes to the son. So I would say amend my statement saying that the real shame goes to the son. The fact that he has to deal with the possibility that people can make fun of him, right? But there's a way to deal with that. There's a way to deal with that. And it's just going to be I won't say just going to be, but there's the initial embarrassment that people got access to seeing your mother doing that. But let's keep it real. Like, we're all adults and that's what people do in the bedroom. That's what people do in the bedroom. Is it embarrassing for the son? I would think so. That's his mother. Every time somebody look at his mother, they gonna be, hey, I seen your work. I like your work. Hey, but that's something he's gonna have to deal with. Is it right? No, it's not okay. It's not cool. But that's the reality. That's the reality. He's gonna have to deal with it. And the reason why he's gonna have to deal with it is because he's gonna have to deal with it so that way he can get through the day. Because if he's not able to deal with it, he's gonna be a wreck. And again, what do this society teach young men and young boys? To be strong, to deal with it, and plug ahead. Worry about the money, worry about the goal, right? I'm pretty sure his dad will teach him how to deal with it because it's a reality. And when you have a son and when you are dad, you don't want your kids to have any type of crutch that's going to get their mind off the goal. Simple and plain. So that's the only I would say that's the real person that has to really deal with the shame factor. Really is the son. So, but I just don't understand it. Now, what's weird to me when I seen other people speak on this, especially the dudes, and I seen a lot of streamers speak on this behalf where they was watching the video looking at Diddy. They're like, oh yeah, Diddy, he's not impressive. Bro, why are you watching a video looking at or looking for Diddy's piece? It is a adult video, right? So you're going to see a piece, right? But you're not studying it. You're not look like you like yo, he little, like, or he not impressive. Like, dude, where they do that at? Where they do that at? Regardless if he's, impressive or not. You don't look at a video with a woman and a man doing their thing to see if the dude is impressive or not. That's like where they do that. Like I never understood that. That's and I've seen that be the narrative with a lot of the streamers or a lot of people that's been talking on the internet based on this is the fact that hey, Diddy this and Diddy that, and it's like yo, but Diddy was barely in the video. He's walking back and forth, making sure that that there was a plethora of Diddy oil, available, or that the lighting was right. You know what I'm saying? He played the background, and the dude Sly and the lady was, getting it popping. The first thing I said, I was impressed with her skills because I'm looking at her skills. I'm a dude that's into women. I'm looking at her skills. And it was crazy to hear other people say, hey, yeah, no, he wasn't impressive as far as Diddy, as far as the piece. What? I don't know. We live in a different time. 2026. We live in a different time. It's wild out here. Um, Shout out to my dog Tom. Let's not forget Scottie Pippen's son mother was messing with Jordan's son too. That's a fact. Lord Jesus, is Jesus can't say if Jesus can't save these hoes, excuse me, if Jesus can't save these women, I guess the devil can. Which is why accountability is needed on all sides. Yeah, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, the guy who released the video, Sly Diggler, obviously he released it because he couldn't get no money. He was like, all right, I'm gonna release it, right? You see P. Diddy in the video doing what I just said, you know what I mean? And you see her doing her thing. She going crazy. I'm very impressed with her skills. Her skill set is very valuable. She got a lot of assets. But the real victim, if there's a victim, is the son. The fact that he has to deal with the embarrassment and the shame that his mom would even do that to be taped and to be filmed and to put herself in a situation where it's released to the world. Right? So it's the sins of the mother. But at the end of the day, he has a dad that can navigate him through this type of situation and her like having to deal with it because he has to deal with it. Can't run away from it. The world is not going to let him run away from it. His school or the people in school might not let him run away from it. So he has to know how to deal with it. So he won't let it be a crutch. Simple and plain. This whole Scottie Pippen thing, that's crazy because Scottie Pippen's son's mother, I mean, between Future and Marquise Jordan, I mean, damn. Yeah, that's a that's hey man, but he still had to deal with it. You see, it didn't stop him from making it to the NBA and being a success in the NBA, right? He had to deal with it. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, but there is something to be said on that. But the real accountability goes to all the parties that was actually in the video. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in time to wrap. And don't forget to hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 13. So continue to like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. I do pop up throughout the week. I drop videos daily and continue to engage. I've been seeing those engagements and I do answer those engagements, those comments, especially if you're saying something. If you're being weird, I might just block it or delete it. If I do leave it, I won't say anything. So again, continue to support the pod. I appreciate it. This is episode 265, which is a lot of episodes. So again, I thank you for y'all support. Shout out to Ebony. They all share the same woman. That's a fact. And I made that comment earlier. I just never understood that. Where in the industry, and I'm in this industry. I'm a music artist. I've been around certain people and in places, and I just never understood that. Like, where's the flex? Where the woman that you have on your arm, that you're invested in, that you want to be your woman, that is your woman, that the rest of these dudes done had a time with her. They know what she looked like when she bent over. They know her face that she makes when she put it in her mouth. Like all type. Like I just don't understand that. I never understood that at all. Just it's just a weird industry. Weird industry. Weird industry. There's a difference between the music business and the music game. The entertainment business and the entertainment game. Very different. Very different. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Question. Should graduating students face some sort of consequences, like not receiving their diploma during the ceremony, if they perform antics when their name is called? I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Should graduating students face some sort of consequence, like not receiving their diploma during the ceremony, if they perform antics when their name is called? Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to Cap in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Knicks up 1-0. Let's go. Yeah, I seen the game earlier. I'm gonna get to that a little bit later in the show for sure. The finals was rocking tonight. Game one was rocking tonight. I'm gonna definitely talk about the finals. But let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I would love to know your comments about that in the chat. Again, should graduating students face some sort of consequences, like not receiving their diploma during the ceremony, if they perform some sort of antics when their name is called? Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, hit the likes, y'all. Hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. Shout out to my dog, Growing Jack, in the building. He's had his membership for over 21 months. Appreciate you, as always. A real one. Big badge holder. A mod in the business, man. A mod in the building. Appreciate your support wholeheartedly, man. AI replacing real women in the sex industry might be a good thing. No incentive, no money, better for women. Yo, that is wild. That is wild. I'm not gonna hold you, Rowan. That's wild. He said AI replacing real women in the sex industry might be a good thing. No incentive, no money, better for women. I mean, you got some women out here that want to be in the sex industry. Keep it all the way a buck with you. You got women out here that actually want to do that. Somebody would say, "Ain't no woman really want that for real." Bullshit, you not. She had 12 years to go to 12 years to go to school, correct? 13 if you count kindergarten, 14 if you count daycare, and that's just from daycare to high school. She, if she really wanted to do something with her life, she would have made something out of school. They do have something where you could benefit yourself and learn a skill outside of and after high school. Go to some sort of trade school. So women that work in the sex industry, a good portion of them want to be there. Another portion don't want to be there and don't have a choice but to be there based on their circumstances. But that's not act like every single woman in there ain't there because they don't want to be there. There's some women that work in the sex industry because they want to. I really believe that. But obviously, we've heard the stories, and we do know that there's a lot of women, majority of the women that's in the industry and don't want to. Shout out to my dog Tom. That's a fact. These basketball players, these rappers, they all share the same woman. Look at Jada Pinkett Smith, Gabrielle Union, Megan The Stallion. Um, these women are tossed around. Remember, sweetie. Uh, which is a fact. Hey man, you said some names. They got a history of dating the same type of dude in the same industry, and that's a fact. I agree. I agree with you on that, Tom, for sure. Let them graduate. The internet will sort out their antics. Uh, Offset was sharing Sweetie with Chris Brown and others. That's a fact, Ebony. Uh, the sex industry for women is like brothers on the block selling dope. Yo, that's wild. Yo, that's wild. That's an interesting take, but that's wild though. I'm not gonna lie. That's wild. That's an interesting take. That's an interesting take. For sure. For sure. Um, well, there's 2 points that was made here, right? So just to tie up, what we said previously before is that well, not tie up, but basically when it comes to sex workers, you got some women out here that want to do that. But when we talk about graduation, right? When we talk about accomplishing a goal, me personally, it sets a bad, it sets a ghetto looking mentality, whether that's the brothers or white folks or whatever race that you're from. It just looks terrible when they call your name and you get on stage and you do anything else besides receiving your diploma, taking that picture, big smile. Anything else is kind of like ghetto. And that's just my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I wouldn't be upset that they like, you know what? We called your name, you came up here, you did a belly flop. Yeah, you're not gonna get your diploma right now. You're not going to get your diploma during the ceremony. Now, after the ceremony, you'll get your diploma. Of course, you earned that. But you did some idiot stuff from the edge of the damn stage all the way to me. You did 10 backflips all the way over here. Like, I don't know, it's just something that like graduating, especially like high school, college, those are real accomplishments. Like, that's something people cannot take away from you. That's history in the making, right? And why end it that way on being idiotic? If you want to be remembered, you know, it is a ceremony. There's more parts of the ceremony where you could do to be remembered outside of looking like a damn idiot when they call your name for the ceremony. I mean, while getting your diploma, I just honestly, if they start doing that, I wouldn't mind. Me personally, I wouldn't mind because you did your 4 years or your 3 years. Shout out to the matter of fact, shout out to the people that did high school in 3 years. I know quite a few people that did high school in 3 years. So you did the work, you did what you needed to do. Why end it like that? Right? It's not a part of This is not the Rimley Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. This is not somewhere that has that type of energy where you look like a damn ass when they call your name. This is a moment where you're supposed to get your absolute props. They called your name. You're getting your diploma. You have on a nice, cap and gown, and you're looking real dapper under that dress shirt, pants, or for the ladies, a dress. Why act like a jackass when they call your name? Get your props. Do yourself proud. Do your family proud. Do the school proud. And most importantly, do yourself and your family proud. Your family came there to see you get your props. As a father, I will say this. I'm not ashamed to say this. When I saw my daughter get her diploma, I low key cried. I'm not gonna lie. Watching her go across the stage, getting her diploma, I believe on the National Society, a whole bunch of awards, governors, certificate, all types of stuff. But when they called her name, she went on stage, shook the hand, took the picture, and I ain't gonna hold you. As a dad, I was like proud, like damn. I'm like, yo, who cut the onions on outside? Like, what's going on? Y'all got onions over here? It was a proud moment. And I seen other kids that got really excited, did something to stand out or whatever the case may be. But the point that I'm making is get your props. Do your family proud, do yourself proud. Don't have your last moment in high school, especially at a place where you're supposed to get your props, looking like a damn jackass. And when you're doing backflips, like, yo, you remember 10 years ago when I did the backflips? Bro, there's way other times you could have been memorable in high school. The graduation is not one of them. Me personally. Maybe I'm old school in my thinking regarding that, me personally. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Um, Decorum matters, especially when families travel thousands of miles to watch. That's a fact. I agree with that. There's a time and place. There's a time and place, and graduation should remain respectful. I agree with that for a fact. Uh, High school was the best years of my life. I'm going to my class reunion to see the girls that are women. Now the dudes that were the it dudes. Your health is the true wealth. Real talk. Graduation is the first step to a real plan. Why start off? Why start your journey acting a fool? Damn, that was perfect. I love that. That was perfect. That was perfect. That was perfect. The core matters, especially when your family tried 1,001. Right. That was perfect. That was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. Why start off your new journey looking like a goddamn jackass? Like, I get it, right? I get it. Obviously, when kids do this, they're trying to find and create a moment that's going to be talked about during the next class reunion. I thought about it the other day, right? I missed my class. I don't even know if we had class reunions, right? Like I graduated in '02, so that's more than 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like call me if they have the 30 year, and I guarantee you, your boy gonna have his health together. Cause like you said in the chat, man, health is what? Health is wealth. Health is wealth. And I still see kids that I graduated with from junior high school. I still see them, and some of them, like, well, the women, some of the women looks amazing. I will say that. My mother always said this, not always said this. I remember my graduation and my prom in junior high school, and obviously I graduated high school and college, but my junior high school in particular, right? Because I talked about the girls from my junior high school. The girls from my junior high school still look amazing, to be honest with you, right? And my mother, when we was getting ready to go to the prom, and we're coming out the gym and on our way to the charter bus, because we had our prom on a boat. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So we took the little charter bus into the city. You know what I'm saying? Got on the boat. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it was lit. I ain't gonna hold you. It was a lit time anyway, right? But when the girls came out, and I'm standing next to my mother for whatever reason, I think she had to give me something, whatever. But when the girls come out, my mother say to another woman, "You see the bodies on these girls? Like we wasn't developed like this. Hey, I don't know if I want you to go for real." I'm like, hey, hey, hey. You see the lady in the background? Hey, mom, hey. You can't stop the rain. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop the rain, baby. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But she was just complimentary of the girls being not only like nice looking in face, but they had body and stuff and was developed. So, and when I see the girls or the women now, who are women, obviously, from my junior high school, they still look good today. And again, I graduated from high school in '02, so I graduated from junior high school in '98. I'm not afraid to say my age, man. I ain't afraid to say the years that I don't care because it is what it is. The whole purpose is to get older. If you live, take care of yourself, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get older. Hey, man. Hey, man. It is a part of the game. Only the rich kids do the same. Only the rich kids do the things like like that because you know you're struggling coming from when I came from college. And serious, you got parents that put you through college, no time for playing. A quick pose is fine, but doing a full internet trend is too much. Women are born with their worth. Women have to earn. No, women are born with their worth, and I believe you saying men have to earn our worth. Right, right. Right. It was a typo, but I see what you're saying though. Yeah, I mean, it's all a part of the game as far as getting older. So when somebody say, "Hey, man, you know, oh, you graduated in '02. Oh man, you old." You're not hurting my feelings, bro. That's the whole purpose. In 20 years, you're gonna be as old as I am right now. It's a part of it. I'd rather be the age that I'm at right now. In my teens and my 20s, oh my God, wild. It was a whole wild time, Wild West. I spent a lot of those times making a lot of mistakes and spending the latter part of my 20s and my 30s correcting those mistakes. And then I spend the latter part of my 30s doing great things and into my early 40s doing great things. It's a part of life. See what I'm saying? It is what it is. The secret is take care of yourself. That's the secret. That's the secret. Health is wealth. So I would have loved to go into my 20-year anniversary, but 20-year class reunion. Excuse me. I would have loved to have seen that because the women from my high school still look good. The women from my junior high school still look good. The dudes from my junior high school had made something of themselves, right? And the reason why I'm gonna single out my junior high school more than my high school is because my junior high school is in a neighborhood that's underserved, and we were such a passionate group, a class uh, at my junior high school, that sixth, seventh, and eighth grade class, and to see us majority of us do well in life coming from an undeserving, I won't say undeserving neighborhood, but a underserved neighborhood. Excuse me, an underserved neighborhood where you have kids who are passionate, who got a little of that rough in them. You know what I'm saying? Because the streets is hot out here, but very intelligent, high IQs. You have people that run businesses, people that became, known to the world, all types of stuff, and all successful in different and avenues. And most importantly, we all took care of ourselves. Whether certain people work regular jobs, whatever the case may be, they took care of themselves. They took care of their family. I remember a girl that had a kid like right after we graduated high school, and she's doing well. I had my daughter like leaving high school, and hey, you know what I'm saying? Everything is cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to brag on stuff like that, but the point that I'm making is we was in an underserving neighborhood, and we was all able to be successful in our different walks of life, and I would love to be a part of or go to, my junior high school reunion or my high school reunion or my college reunion. I would love to be a part of that. My high school reunion, it would be funny because I'm not from that neighborhood. That was a rich neighborhood. The only reason why I was able to go to the high school because I played sports. To be honest with you, I had a scholarship to go to the school. No football, no scholarship, no schooling. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Uh, never. It's never too hard for old, distinguished men with resources to get a younger woman, but it's hard for older women like Vivica Fox to get men to love her. You see the difference. That's a fact. That's a fact. But with Vivica Fox in particular, it's more due to her demeanor too. It's more due to her demeanor. Like if she had more of a like a pleasant demeanor and didn't speak as much on her like requirements, she could find somebody that she can love, but it wouldn't be somebody that um she could make up in her mind to say, "Oh, this is the perfect man for me." The perfect man for her is somebody that's perfectly imperfect, meaning he may not make that much money. He may be a little overweight, but guess what? He gonna love you though. He gonna love you. So, and that's what kills her for real, because he gets up and speak up like, yeah, I deserve a man that's fit, making his money, da 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 da. It's like you can't demand that right now. This is you not 90s Vivica. 90s Vivica, hey, I can see why a man would be like, hey, right? But again, having a pleasant disposition, you know, uh, being somebody that you could see somebody that you could really build with. Because there's a bigger difference to me with Vivica Fox and was the other girl you named, the other actress, Gabrielle Union. There's a difference to me because she has somebody that's younger than her, married to her, they have a life together. So there's a difference. And you don't see her speaking out. Vivica Fox, so she gonna speak out on what she deserves. Okay, cool. But it's a fact though. Older men, distinguished, got their money right. We easily can find a younger woman to be with us, to have our children, to build a life with, to actually love us. But at the end of the day, everybody serves a purpose because we know as men, the older we get, even when we get with somebody that's younger than us, there's a purpose. It's purposeful. It's purposeful. Her purpose is to serve. And if she doesn't serve, guess what? She's no longer going. So do you have some women talk about, oh, the person's only with you because you can provide. So what you think an older woman will be with you for? The older woman's gonna love you more than the younger woman? Doesn't make sense. So being purposeful and and us knowing what the role is, that's what makes it even easier. That's what makes it even easier for us. I'm just being honest. The greatest thing about women is the fact that you can see her, you don't hear her, uh, hear her shout out to Savannah James and Paula Washington. Yeah, I mean, Paula Washington, I didn't even realize that was Denzel's wife for real until I started watching this other show. It's a new show that's out. It's pretty good about a lawyer, and she plays like the mother on that show. And I didn't even realize that was his wife, but I realized throughout all these years, outside of her acting, you never heard her speak. Never heard her speak. Never heard her speak. And then the times when she do speak, it's always pleasant. It's always pleasant. You can see why Denzel Washington was like, yeah, all y'all chicks out here, yeah, I'm going to my wife, loving on his wife. I can see that. I can see it. I can see it. Savannah James, I mean, she got a podcast now, but before the podcast, you didn't hear her speak nothing. You didn't hear her speak. Uh, I can see how LeBron James was like, yo, me and you, baby, to the end. Me and you. I can see that. So yeah, there is a value to shutting the f up, ladies, for sure, for sure, absolutely, absolutely. And I know we got quite a few ladies in the chat, but y'all know I'm gonna be honest. You know I don't placate. I'm gonna be honest. All right, so moving on to our next hot topic in time to wrap. Uh, People going in and out of the sewers with change clothes in different locations in Brooklyn and Queens. I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, I would love to know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, news have reported, because it's been caught on camera also, that people are going in and out of the sewers with changed clothes in several Brooklyn and Queens locations, meaning that they popping those manholes open and going inside, coming back out with brand new clothes at different times, and this timestamp on top of that too, which is very interesting to me. Um, but yeah, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I thought that was extremely wild. But New York City manhole, do y'all understand how heavy that shit is? Do you understand how heavy to rock open a manhole in New York City? Do you know? That is heavy. And that, not to mention what makes it even heavier, the panel to lift it up. Like you have to have small hands and have big arms to lift that thing up. Seriously. Because the panel to lift the manhole is very small. It's specifically made only to use an apparatus to pop it open. It's not made for you people to take their hands, dig in there, and just pull it up, because it's wild heavy on top of that. It's wild heavy. But let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. Like, this is crazy. A shout out to my dog Tom in the building. Just imagine being married to Tia Mowry. Sister, go home, Rogers. She graduated from her husband to move on to a different curriculum, which is the streets. Lord have mercy. Bob Marley voice. Yo, I've seen that too. I've seen that too. So I told you, some people are just crazy, man. Some of them is, yeah, some people are just crazy, both men and women. But we're talking about the women right now. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. Had a whole marriage. That she said the marriage was good, and she graduated from the marriage. On to what? Just crazy talk. So you made a great point regarding that for sure. Shout out to Ebony. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Come on, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are finally real. You stupid, Ebony. Shout out to Ebony in the chat. Appreciate you, Ebony. But this is a real situation. They've been reporting this on several networks in New York City, of course, and this is a real thing. So the locations have been. They said it's been about 6 to 8 different locations. Excuse me, it's been an organized group of 6 to 8 people that's were recorded lifting heavy manholes in Williamsburg near Haywood Street. Also, Graves Inn, Flatbush, near McDonald Avenue and Collin Place. Also seen as well in Astoria, Queens. So these are different areas in New York City where people organize. There's an organized group of people to 6 to 8 people lifting these manholes, going inside, coming out, hours later with changed clothes, and God knows what else is going on there. So, being that they have reported this, there should be some sort of investigation. So, the stuff that they wear in the individuals are highly equipped, wearing heavy duty chest, they said chest wanders and protective coveralls, gloves, headlamps, and carrying flashlights and shovels. So they down there shoveling something, looking for something, and they doing this on a regular basis in different locations, which is crazy. After spending 2 to 3 hours underground, the groups emerge back onto the street, where they're filmed, stripping off their foul sewage soaked protective gear onto the sidewalk and changing into fresh clothes, loading their equipment into waiting vehicles and driving away. This is kind of scary because we don't know what is going on down there. Why y'all down there? Why? And who authorized this? Obviously, if it's being reported on the news, ain't nobody authorized this because something like this could easily be authorized in New York City if you're dealing with New York City and I forget the actual the sewer, sewage NTA, not even NTA. It's another thing that I can't think of right now because I'm on live. But the point that I'm making is this is easily verifiable. If these are real workers of New York City working in the behest of working in the sewers and things of that nature, this wouldn't even be a story. But the fact that it is obviously is not. It hasn't been something that's verified. It's something that hasn't been authorized by New York City in itself. So that's what makes it a big deal. The investigation and theories regarding this is basically a senior law enforcement official has confirmed that the investigation believes that the individuals are searching for high value items such as lost gold, jewelry, and frequently washed down city storms that are frequently washed down city storm drains and accumulated into catchments. So they're looking for all types of stuff, whether they can find money, jewelry, anything of valuable in the sewer because somehow, some way, we do flush things down the toilet. But while you're down there, you're gonna see a whole lot of rats too. New York City has some of the most disrespectful, the biggest, the craziest looking rats you've ever seen in your life. They really have true live master splinters. As a native Brooklynite, I can say that for sure. So you going into the sewers where they live? It's more rats in New York than it is people. They live in the sewer and they live on the street. The reason why I say they disrespect you, they will take a food, run across your food, rush across your foot with the food, and keep it pushing. Rats don't care about things like we having a conversation in New York City. Hell no. Hell no. Shout out to the chat. What they say in chat. When you are sick, you do not want to see your pops. You don't want to see your auntie, your sister. Only person you want to see is your mother. Your mother is the healer of life. Uh, Let me tell you something about New York workers. They will start a union in 1 second, and the New York residents and workers do not play about their business. That is a fact. That is a fact. I believe New York. I believe New York cannot honk your horn after a certain time in certain neighborhoods. New York, New York City got the biggest rats because they love Chinese food in New York. And you ever seen? Hello, New York City got some of the biggest rats because they love the Chinese food in New York. If you ever been to New York City at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning, or even 3 a.m. in the morning, dumb big suckers are moving. Shout out to Ebony. Uh, they were just looking for Master Splinter. Ebony, you stupid. Seen rats pull pigeons into the holes. That's a fact. Like you could joke about that, but that's a real thing. I seen rats pull pigeons into the hole too in New York City. Rats is completely different in New York City, and people won't believe it until they see it. They won't believe it until they see it. I guarantee you, you see a rat in New York City, you see how big they are, how disrespectful they are, and when they hungry, they get activated. And there's more rats in New York City than it is people. That is a fact. I can look it up. That's not something I can make up. You can look that up. It's a complete fact. So make sure y'all can check that out. They even hired a lady. She's basically the mayor of rats, and they pay her $3 million a year to catch rats. That's how much rats is in New York City. I guarantee if you look it up, there's a lady that is in charge of the rats in New York City, and her job is to catch the rats or to pop, depopulate the rats in New York City, and she gets paid about $3 million a year to do so. Still not doing a great job. I'm just saying. Shout out to Tom Rowan. That's a fact. I believe them Chinese food. I believe Chinese people in New York City be using rats in their food. It damn sure ain't chicken, cause ain't no way. I've been frying chicken all my life, and ain't no way you fry the chicken that good and it still come out that tender, real crispy on the outside and real tender on the inside. When I deep fry my food, it be hard on the outside, hard on the inside. So it got to be something. Damn sure ain't chicken. They using some other meat. Pause. And I used to eat all that stuff in New York City when I lived there. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't had Chinese food in years, y'all. I'm dead serious. Seriously though, the fact that happens spontaneously in several locations is what makes it creepy. Only in New York you could get a woman that would be the whisperer of rats. Only in New York you could get that. Uh, my chicken don't even come out. That's good in my air fryer. I don't even eat Chinese food. Thai food is my thing. Yeah, I don't eat none of that no more. I don't eat none of that no more. I haven't had Chinese food literally since 2015. Did I say that right? 2015. Yeah, 2015. Haven't had Chinese food since. That's when I moved out of Brooklyn. Yeah. And then what made it worse, I don't believe that every Chinese store has rats, but they got mystery meat, dog. I believe that. They got mystery meat in a lot of Chinese stores. It's a lot of mystery meat going on. And I seen this documentary about rats. And one particular place was basically giving a Chinese store rats, and they knew it. They dropped off rats. It wasn't in the city anywhere. This was like, I forget what country that it was, but the guy had a panel of rats on his bike, and it was live rats. They wasn't dead rats. All live rats in this panel, and for them to prepare the meat, they have to drown the rat. They couldn't like just, whatever. They had to drown the rat, then they take all the hair off, then they chop it up, and then they saute and all that with the rat, and people eat it. And then they had the baby rats that the people ate like fresh. I kid you not. It's the documentary called Rats, and they showed the different areas in the world that has a lot of rats. They talked about India. They talked about different places in Asia. They talked about New York City, but in the different places of Asia, they was eating the baby rats like freshly born. Might I add? They clean them off or whatever, freshly born, and it was eating the live rats. I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Then they had the other place where they was hiring men to go out. They work a shift from like 12 at night to 6 in the morning, where they had to collect rats. And if they didn't collect at least 6 rats, they wouldn't get paid. So you seen the men come with sacks of rats, and all they had was a stick. They would walk up to a rat, crack it on his head. There was one dude that was killing him with his bare hands. He would catch him by the tail, and then like he would stretch him out. I was like, yo, that documentary was gangster. Then they had another place where they worship the rats in India. It's a rat chapel. Ain't nothing but rats in the chapel, and people are walking through the chapel and they're praying, and there's a whole bunch of rats, and they feeding it. They got the milk, the fruit, the cheese for the rats, and then some people is putting their hand in the milk and drinking just like how the rats is. You know what I'm saying? Eating with the fruit. It's wild. And they walking through praying to the rats or whatever, and it's like, yo, and it's a rat chapel. It's wild. I was like, yeah, nah. I respect it because that's what they believe in. But yeah, nah. Your boy Ash ain't walking through the chapel and there's rats all over the place. Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. I know when my aunt was sick, she was given some commodity to do, that they use to kill rats. The medical pill and feels that you are taking are going to hurt you more than Opiates, vegetables, fruits that are going to keep you alive. Yo, bro, my friends make fun of me all the time. Is that if not one thing I don't keep in my refrigerator, I'm going to have fruits. You know, they joke on me about that all the time. Hey, what you about to eat, bro? A fruit bowl? A matter of fact, I posted a fruit bowl not too long ago. Or my go-to dish is fish and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? It's my go-to dish. Friends make fun of me for that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I thought this was quite interesting. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in time to wrap. And again, hit them likes, y'all. Hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 13. So every bit of your support is muchly appreciated. And I thank you for that. All right, y'all. Rick Chow was found not guilty for the murder of Richland County. Uh, excuse me, Rick Child was found not guilty of murder by a Richland County jury in South Carolina on June 1st, 2026, for the fatal 2023 shooting of 14-year-old Cyrus Kermack Belton. The incident happened May 28th, 2023. 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Benton entered the Express Mart Shell Station in Columbia, South Carolina, owned by Rick Child. Child and his son Andy suspected the teenager of shoplifting for 4 water bottles. Uh, on surveillance, you've seen, um, Child and his son starting to give chase to the young man. Also, you see on video that the young man showed basically his jacket, like, "Hey, I don't have anything on me," or whatever the case may be. You also see on videos him actually taking the water bottles out the refrigerator and then putting them back in the refrigerator. Um, it's been rumored or has been noted that he did have a gun on him, but on video, it doesn't show him using the gun to scare off Rick Child or his son. He just ran when he walked out the store and of course gave chase. Surveillance video and investigation later confirmed that Carmack Benton did not steal anything and had to put the water bottles back into the cooler. However, Chow and his son chased the teenager down, the street, pursuing him for more than 130 yards from the store. The shooting itself, during the pursuit, Andy Child yelled that the teenager was armed. Rick Child then uh, shot Carmack Benton once in the back uh, for the fatal wound. Let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. So obviously, with him being found not guilty, the community reaction of this is obviously not good. Like, what do you expect? It's going to be pain. It's going to be work. Um, People feel a way about this. I feel a way about this. This could have been any of our sons. Um, there's something to be said. Why does a young man at 14 have a gun? Absolutely. That's a conversation all in itself. But watching the video, he did not use said gun. Because, mind you, the person that said he had a gun is the person that shot him. If let's say he had a gun, let's say he had one, he runs 130 yards away from the store. That's the furthest he would get. But why is he running if he has a gun and you chasing him? Why is he running? Make that make sense. And if he had the gun, the source of him having the gun is by the person who shot him. Now, some people are saying that Rick Child couldn't have shot him. They're saying that the son more likely shot him because Imagine a middle-aged man, a better part in his 50s, maybe his 60s. Could be wrong on his age. But let's say Rick Child was in his 60s. What is the chances of a 60-year-old man chasing down a 14-year-old kid that has a head start? That has a head start, a visible head start. What is the chances of that? And he has a gun and he doesn't use it and gets shot in the back. What are the chances? So that's a whole nother subject in itself, correct? That his son may be the culprit, and it would have been easier for them to find him not guilty as it showed, right? So the community is pissed off, and I understand it because it just seems like when it's our babies, and because our babies are not looked at as babies, and if he had a gun, nobody would look at him like a baby. Like, let's keep it real. If he had one. But at the end of the day, 14 is 14. At the end of the day, this young man was running away from you. And all this stemmed over water bottles? Like, let's be honest. If he was a white kid, he would have put the water bottles back. Are they chasing him down once he leaves the store? Are they chasing him down? Let's be for real. If he had a gun and they notice he had a gun, do you give chase to somebody that has a gun? Especially a kid whose frontal lobe is not even developed. He's liable to do anything because he's scared. And I'm not giving him excuses. I'm making this make sense. I've been 14 before. There's no way I have a gun in 14 and I'm having an issue with somebody and I'm running. There's no way. There's no way that happens. So the community has a right to be outraged. Yes, get him up out the neighborhood. Mind you, if the kid came in with the intent to steal, he still doesn't deserve to lose his life. A penalty should be issued. Yes. Yes. A fine. Stole 4 water bottles, he should be fined. He shouldn't be unalived. Okay, you send him to kitty holding for a day. Let him go speak to the judge. Hey, if I see you again, you're gonna do some real time if you play with me. Yes, that's suitable for a 14-year-old kid that doesn't have a background of any type of malicious gang activity. Yes, yes. But to lose his life, I'm just not. I'm not there with it. I'm not there with it. So civil lawsuit will be filed on behalf of the Carmack family, Carmack Benton family, for wrongful death, um, and it will be against Rick Child as well, and they intend to aggressively pursue that as well. I've seen videos. I've seen videos where people are outside of the actual gas station and they protest at first, and as the night went along, uh, the gas station got vandalized. It is what it is. I don't understand how people can serve a community that you're afraid of. How do you do that? Again, when somebody from the community does something like steals in your establishment, there's ways of handling it. There's ways of giving that person and that kid consequences that he has to face. Losing his life is not a part of that consequence. The video is the video. You've seen the video. You've seen him go into the store, and he could have been on some bullshit. Could have been. But what we saw on the video was him taking the water bottles out the cooler and him putting the water bottles back into the cooler. That's what we saw in the video. We also saw the young man leave the store, and you could see him, you could see the childs coming at him with all this aggression and energy, and he ran. What 14-year-old kid runs from a confrontation when they have a gun? And we live in the world we live in today with the drill, when kids is going crazy and they shooting everything. If a kid has a gun at 14 years old and he's being provoked, and he's that scared, he's not running, he'll shoot you till your body turn on fire. So even if he had the gun and did not use the gun to defend himself, did not use the gun. If you got a gun and somebody's shooting at you, wouldn't he do one of these? Wouldn't he take his out while he's running and do one of these? That's not what the report said he did. And this is 130 yards away. Do you know how far 130 yards away? That's a whole football field. A football field is 100 yards. So imagine running that and 30 yards more. Imagine that. So you mean to tell me a 14-year-old kid that has a head start, to have enough time to run, take out his, and bust back? That's what you're telling me? Yeah, yeah. His store should not be in the neighborhood anymore. It's just that simple. And it's just quite vexing when you see people come into predominantly brother neighborhoods and they scared of the neighborhood. They're not about the neighborhood. I grew up at a time, whether it was the Jamaican spot, the Puerto Rican spot, the Dominican spot, or the Arab spot. And mind you, these are four different corner stores on the same damn block. These particular people in my neighborhood that I grew up in, I want to say they cared about the neighborhood, but they wasn't afraid of the neighborhood either. Quite a few of those stores knew the kids by name. They knew our parents. Hey, tell your dad I said hello. How's your brother doing? I seen him 2 weeks ago. I was trying to say something to him, but he kept on going. Can't be afraid of the neighborhood that you want people to patrol. And there's ways of giving someone consequences, especially kids and children. He's not a baby, but at the end of the day, y'all get where I'm going with this. There's ways to give consequences without losing his life. Paid the ultimate price for what? This is not something he should have lost his life about. That's what makes it vexing. That's what makes the people very outraged. And somebody has to pay for this. Because if this would have happened to a white kid, if this would have happened to an Asian kid, they would have did something. Something would happen. Yo, you can't do this shit. And rightfully so. Because why? We're human beings. We're the human race, correct? Correct? So I'm glad to see that community step up and step out in that particular community in Columbus, South Carolina. Like, yo, nah, this store can't stay here. Y'all move it or we move it. Y'all choice. You can't be afraid of the neighborhood that you want to patrol in. Can't. This kid had no reason to lose his life at the time that he lost his life. This is crazy. Me personally. To me personally. And the evidence is the evidence. So the fact that he was able to get off scot-free, it's not cool. Now, The crazy thing that happens with the store, if he has insurance, hey, he can get the money from the insurance and go somewhere else. So either way, he doesn't lose his freedom, and he gets to continue running a business. It's just sad, man. Shout out to the chat. Y'all been going in the chat. I'm not ignoring the chat. I just want to make my point. Uh, you was not you were not catching a 14-year-old. I can remember when I was 14 and I had a head start on my grandpa. I love that. I love that ninja. I left that ninja in the dust. Uh, there is nothing like fried chicken, man. I remember when I was 10 to 12 years, I was crack chicken roll at fried pork chops, uh, but not more pork chops. When people lose faith in the law, they take it into their own hands. Uh, the dispassionate, the dispassionate judicial system is the difference between justice and vengeance. I say this all the time. Fear is the mother of all destruction. Fear. Fear is the mother of all destruction. And that happens culturally and outside of the culture. Outside of the culture is something like this. Inside of the culture, where, for example, you could have uh, brothers not liking other brothers just because one is light skinned, one is dark skinned, right? We see it with Latinos. Don't call me Puerto Rican, I'm Dominican, and vice versa, right? We see it with Asians. Hey, don't call me Chinese, I'm Korean, right? So there's intercultural and outer cultural. This particular situation is outer cultural, and even whether it's in or outer cultural, fear is the mother of all destruction. Even when somebody's good versus somebody that's not. If this person is not here, then I have a chance. It's fear. All of this shit is fear based. All of it. But it's just puzzling to me, how can you be a doctor at a hospital, at a place that you fear the people? How can you run a business in an area that you fear the people? How do you do it? How can you police a neighborhood that you fear the people? How do you do it? And fear meaning understanding the situation instead of looking at people as individuals, instead of looking at them as people. Like I said, the corner stores, and we had like 5 of them in my neighborhood. They knew our parents, they knew our siblings. So even if we did something stupid, guess who they could talk to? There's ways of giving a kid consequences without unaliving him. If I did something stupid in the corner store, mind you, there's 5 of them. I could go to all 5 and do something stupid. Guess what? At the end of the day, Miss Johnson's gonna find out about it. And what you think Miss Johnson gonna say to me? What you think she gonna say to me? I damn sure didn't want them to run into Mr. Johnson. What you think they gonna say to me? There's ways to give kids consequences when they mess up without being unalive. I love all y'all comments, by the way, in the chat. Hit them likes, y'all. Hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. Again, if this is your first time tuning in, tapping in, I am Ashley Lovechild. This is the Kingdom Brothers Get a Rap podcast, and this is episode 265. Wow, that's a lot. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Um, Question. Here's another question. Here's another big question, y'all. If you're riding around in a ski mask at any point in time of the day, should the police have the right to stop and search your vehicle? Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. If you're riding around in a ski mask at any point in time of the day, should the police have the right to stop and search your vehicle. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I would love to know what y'all think about this in the chat. Uh, again, me personally, yes. Yes, to answer my own question, yes, for sure. What are you riding around in a ski mask during the day for? Are you the Brinks truck people? Are you delivering money, picking up money from somewhere? Is that your job? Are you a WWE wrestler and y'all doing like a on location type of episode? Is that what y'all do? Are you a bikesman or a driver where y'all basically filming like a special car act or motorcycle act? Is that what y'all doing? What is the purpose of having a ski mask on at any point in time of the day? Is it cold outside? Is it 0 degrees? Is it -20? No? Yeah. Should be stopped. Should be stopped and searched for sure. In the chat, they saying no. They saying Fourth Amendment. They saying Fourth Amendment. In Florida, okay. I'm in Washington. They laughing in the chat. I would say location have something to do with it. Obviously, if it's you're in Colorado at the Aspens or in the Aspens, yeah, right. It's cold, right? Florida, it's something suspicious when a person's riding around with a poo shiesty. We got nice weather in Florida, dog. We got nice weather in Florida. 90 degrees, 80 degrees, poo shiesty, 2 p.m. Stop and search, bro. Yeah. Yes. Yes. For sure. Yeah. What are you doing? Now, as adults, we dress for our workplace, correct? We dress for work. What a part of your work demands you wearing a pool shiesty at 2, 3 p.m.? And anybody that has to wear pool shiesty in their job, let's say you're a construction worker, guess what? When you leave the construction site, 9 times out of 10, you don't walk out the construction site with the pool shiesty on. Is the point that I'm making. If you work construction, you're not walking around with your hard hat off the site. You taking that shit off. That shit is hot, especially in Florida. You're taking off your hard hat once you leave the construction site. You're taking off the pool shiesty when you walking off the site. You doing that. If you work in sanitation and you wear that for sanitation, you're doing a job they do. That's not the same thing. But if you're in everyday life, just walking around with the poo shiesty on in everyday life, and like, what do you need it for? So me personally, yeah, I would be in favor of that. If you caught with a poo shiesty and it's not work related, and you're just riding around average day, yeah, stop and see what the hell is going on. And you know how you could differentiate that? Most work sites, when they wear stuff like that, they wear loud colors on purpose. So the police will know, okay, he has lime green on, he has orange on, he has magenta on. These type of colors is colors that's meant to be loud because they working in the site where anything can happen. But if you're walking around in everyday life and it's not work related, then yo, what the hell are you doing? And it's quite interesting that majority of these unalivers that we see in broad daylight, and there's a whole lot of gunplay, people are wearing what? Poo shiesties. I think location could be a factor in that as well. But at the same time, hey man, it is what it is. What do you need it for? Now, it was one thing during COVID. There's one thing during COVID for sure. We're not dealing with COVID no more, right? We're not dealing because nobody's even talking about COVID anymore. It's not even a conversation. When's the last time you really heard somebody say, "Yo, I went in the pool shiesty so I don't catch COVID"? You don't hear that. People wear the pool shiesty at work sites, right? Post office, construction site, uh, 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 anything with sewage, right? Anything with construction. But other than that, dog, come on now. So me personally, hell yeah. Shout out to the chat. Wearing a ski mask, wearing a ski. What is that? Wearing a ski mask in 90-degree weather is immediate probable cause. I would just wear the burqa if I was doing if I was going to do something with the shiesty. Yeah, I mean, again, there's ways to differentiate the work pool shiesty and the regular pool shiesty, and you can tell when somebody got on work clothes opposed to they're about to do something like it's questionable. You know what I'm saying? Like my thing is this: if you don't look questionable, you lessen your chances. I didn't say it will stop everything. That's idiotic to say, but it lessens your chances. Now, some cops, some cops are gonna be some cops, but at the end of the day, dude, pull shiesty for no reason, 2 p.m., 3 p.m., out and about. You're not working or nothing like that. You don't have the working colors on. Yeah, yeah. Stop it, Search. What you got going on? What you got going on? Inquiring minds want to know. Gotta keep the people safe. Gotta keep the people safe. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. NBA Finals is here. Game one. San Antonio Spurs versus the New York Knicks, and it went down. The Knicks is up 1-0 against the San Antonio Spurs. It was a good game. Good game. Um, the Spurs was up though. The Spurs was up by at least like 16 points, but the Knicks came back and won 105 to 95. Is that the final? Because I'm seeing like 9 seconds left. 105 to 95, yeah. So for some reason it had seconds left. So 105 to 95 during this game. Um, I will say this: Wimbiana was struggling with his shot. He didn't have a great shooting night, and along with some of the other guys on the Spurs, they struggled to get their shot down. But they was up by 16 points at one point in time in the game. They have to be able to nip that in the bud if they're going to win the series. Now the Knicks, one thing I can't say about the Knicks, one thing I can't say about the Knicks, when they're shooting well, they're a very hard team to beat. The fact that they only scored 105 lets you know that A, one, the Spurs can play some defense. Two, their shot wasn't where it needed to be tonight. And three, this is going to be a long series. I think this is going to go to game seven. Some people say the Knicks in six. That's been the slogan, Knicks in six. But I think this is going to go to 7 games, and I do think the Spurs will win. The fact that they was able to be up by 16 and still not have the shooting night that they normally have says a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks even won this series because they won the cup against the Spurs earlier this season. So I wouldn't be surprised regarding that as well too. But it was still a good game. You know, watching the game, one thing that I did appreciate is the level of physicality that was allowed. The flopping is not going to go. This series, the finals, you cannot let flopping be a component of determining the game. If you do that, you ruin the elk and the integrity of the game and of the finals. This is the stakes are too high. And there was a couple calls that I seen with Brunson that they didn't call, and rightfully so. You can't flop, dude. You got to play this out. Can't flop. And they let the game play out. They made their adjustments, and the Knicks came back and won the game. I mean, you got to take your hat off to the Knicks. They're up 1-0, and they're 3 games away from being the NBA champions if they do pull this out. Um, which is going to be crazy if they do. This is going because I've never seen it in my lifetime. But like I said, I still believe that the Spurs will win the series, and but they did still won. The Knicks came, stole one, still a home game from the Spurs, and they playing game 2 obviously at the Spurs, and the Spurs better balance that back because I guarantee you, if the Knicks are able to go back to New York City up 2-0, it'll probably it won't be a sweep. It won't be a sweep. But the Spurs would have give themselves a hill that they won't be able to climb out of. I still think that I still think that the series will go 7, but I would still have to give it to the Spurs regarding this. Josh Hart had a rough one. He went 1 for 5, only had 3 points. OG had 17. Carl Anthony Towns had 18. Brunson had 30. Mikal Bridges had 9 points. He went 3 for 6. Landry Shaman had 13 points off the bench. Jose Alvarado had 7 points off the bench. Miles McBride had 16, excuse me, had 6 points off the bench. He went 2 for 7. So I mean, hey man, they got to tighten up. They got to tighten up. They had it by again. They had the lead by 16, and they let them come back and win this game. Wemby shooting was crazy tonight. Wemby went 6 for 21. He struggled. He still had 26 points. When you look at 26 points, that's a lot of points. But he still was 6 for 21. That's not going to cut it. 2 for 9 from the 3-point line is not going to cut it as well. He has to be better in game 2. Vassell finished with 9. Champagny finished with 16. Stephen Castle finished with 17. De'Aaron Fox got to be better. He went 3 for 13. He only had 7 points. Dylan Harper did pick up the slack with 16 points, though. And the bench has to be better in itself because the bench only provided, outside of Dylan Harper 16, Caden Johnson scored 3 points. Carter Bryant scored 1 point. That's not much production. You only got 20 points from the bench. So either the starters got to do better or that bench definitely got to do better. I want to see Harrison Barnes really contribute to the series. He's played awful throughout the playoffs. He's played awful. He's played awful. So I don't expect the Spurs to have the same shooting difficulties in game 2. Um, I think they will play better, and I do think they do tie the series up. But I tell you this, if they don't, and they go back to New York 2-0, the Knicks won this series. I don't care if the Spurs is able to tie the series after that, they still winning this series. This next game is super pivotal, in my opinion. Super pivotal. The Knicks cannot come into your home and get 2 games on your home court. Can't do it. Can't do it. And we're going to see moving forward. We're going to see moving forward. But the Knicks, man, the Knicks is a good team, man. They can put up points. That's one thing the Knicks can do is put up points. And the fact that they get them down to 105 says a lot as well about the Spurs defense. Shout out to my dog CC. It would be a wrap if the Knicks go 2-0, head into New York, go strong at home. Yeah, like I said, man, if they do 2-0, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But the Knicks cannot play if they want to win next game. They can't play how they play tonight. They can't. They have to be better. They have to be better. They have to put up more points. They have to be better. So if they want to win game two. If they play the way they played tonight in game two, they will lose game two. Because guess what? Wimby's not going to be having shooting difficulties again. He's not. Not in game two at least. De'Aaron Fox, who's very every time I see him play, he's very efficient. He's not going 3 for 13 again. Nope. Nope. So the Knicks better tighten up if they do want to win game two. They got a chance. The Knicks got a real chance. The Knicks has a real chance of actually being champs in the NBA. Would it be good for the NBA? Absolutely. It would be better for the NBA if the Brooklyn Nets won. Right? And I'm being funny, y'all, but I'm saying that because Brooklyn Nets is my team. But it would be great for the NBA if the New York Knicks are able to win the finals. The only bad part of that is some of the fans. Some of the fans is just unsufferable. But outside of that, in real terms and like being real and not being a hater, yo, it'll be a great thing for basketball to see the Knicks win the finals, but they have to earn it. And if they play the way they played tonight, they're not going to win game two. And if they win game two, which is very pivotal, they basically won the series. So it'll behoove them to play their best basketball in game two. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. I will keep the lie alive. So my keep the lie alive for this episode is be careful who you invite in your life and into your bedroom. Again, be careful who you invite into your life and your bedroom. It's been the current theme all show, right? We talked about the lady that got mad that her boyfriend told her to leave his house and she came back with a damn dynamite. Where the hell did she get dynamite from? Right? One of my favorite shows, uh, Fatal Attraction. And you see all these people that, they show the montage, they fall in love, they're all about each other, and then all of a sudden, they're not about each other. Then somebody that's not a part of the program, they come back to unalive. But then in the real world, you meet people every day. Meet people every day, whether it's personal or business. And you embark them into your life and they mean you no good. You have to be very aware of who you invite into your life because you just never know what's going to happen. They think they're bigger than the program. I seen one lady back to the show. She was like a traveling nurse, and the guy was just smashing her down. That wasn't even his girl. Unalive this man because she wanted to be his woman. And he was known to have many different chicks before she was even a part of his life. I spoke about it throughout the show about my past relationships. We spoke, there's been a common thread on some of the subject matter we talked about when it comes to man and woman. Be careful who you invite into your life and into your bedroom. You just never know because they mean you no good. You have to do a vetting system on really vetting people on who you have in your life and having your space. Because the difference between unintentional and intentional. I just never understood when somebody intentionally did something to you after you did something that was unintentional. Be careful who you invite into your life and your bedroom. So that's my keep the lie alive for this episode. I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been absolutely amazing again for episode 265. Again, I'm Ashley Lovechild, Ken and Brothers Get a Rap podcast. Again, we're on every Wednesday and every Sunday at 10:30, and I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. I do drop videos daily. So again, continue to engage, leave those comments in the videos and hit those like buttons, hit those share buttons. Shout out to Ebony. It prevents crimes before they happen. Let the police do their job. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to Ebony. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Shout out to my dog Rowan Jack. Shout out to CC Motions in the building. Shout out to King P. Shout out to all of y'all in the chat, man. I'm not gonna shout out to every single person, but Shout out to y'all. Y'all been super active all night. And again, I appreciate all the love that y'all show the show and y'all show myself. So again, I appreciate that. Summer is here and around the corner. A, move safe, move respectful, be good, be right, move right. Because when the summer is here and that heat hit, people lose their mind, and sometimes it could affect you if you're even in the crossfire. So be careful out here. It's summertime, and move accordingly. Move dangerously. I hate the saying, "Yo, be safe." No, don't be safe. Be dangerous. Because for some reason, when you move dangerous, you receive peace. When you try to be safe, you receive violence. So move dangerously, y'all. Again, I appreciate y'all each and every Wednesday and every Sunday. Again, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. Do not try to have the ability to stand out by being negative. Have the ability to stand out by being positive. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. Hate has a location. It's just not here. And again, I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps. Again, where you get to find us some movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewer pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's the word button snaps, the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Also, OUV Records. And I'm forgetting one last thing. Uh, yeah, that was it. So again, y'all already know ain't nothing but love. And you can also catch me on Instagram. That's what it was. At Ashley Lovechild. And again, major love to everybody for showing love here. And I appreciate y'all. As always, y'all already know it's love. And I'm gonna see y'all this Sunday at 10:30. I'm out.